We'll just be like,
I'm starting. Okay. I can edit this later. Um,
you know,
yeah. So, today we're going to talk about white feminism, which is, if you don't know what that is, it's pretty much like, how would I explain it?
well, privileged feminism, I think, would be the accurate term
Yeah.
because it's. Well, we should probably just talk about like the different sects of feminism.
Shall we?
Yeah, and we'll start out with like white feminism. So basically, white feminism is like feminists or feminism that doesn't really consider the real issues.
White
This is like
people. White
we kind of
people. White people. Okay, sorry.
it's not to some extent like that one tweet you sent me of that. I don't know. She's a girl. Like this is the definition of white feminism. I was like, yes, I completely agree. And like to some extent, it could be considered racist, but it's like it's so doesn't matter. It just like
What
doesn't even
doesn't?
like technically white feminism like I guess you could say it's like puts a group in a corner almost, or like says feminists who are white or like, oh, those are just white feminists, but like
Well, no. It's more of like a term for a certain type of feminist. My sister's
yeah,
white and she's a feminist, but she's
yeah,
definitely not a white feminist. She has like a
yeah, yeah,
she
yeah,
has a she has a patch on her jean jacket that says "End White Feminism."
yeah. So it seems kind of like inaccurate because literally all the only two words in it are feminism and white. And I get like the context it's used in, and all the contexts it's used in, it's used like accurately and right from what I've seen, and I understand where they're coming from. It's just kind of a weird term, so that's why I like to use like privileged feminism and white feminism together, so I guess,
Notice how they're the same thing.
yeah, exactly, that's what I'm saying. So people can be like, because if you hear white feminism, that's literally just like, are they just racist feminists? And it's like, no, they can't.
Well,
I mean,
I mean,
uh,
in inadvertently, they're not inherently
yeah,
racist, but
I agree with that
I
actually,
mean, what they're doing is problematic for the community of people of color.
because
Like
they don't
them
consider
advocate
the actual problems that affect people like men.
exactly. Like Anita Sarkeesian is a white feminist. She's just like video games.
I mean, she's literally a white feminist, and she's also just
She's kind of her opinions. I mean, I
yeah.
kind of get what she's trying to say on some issues. Like when she brings up actual issues, that I'm like, oh, I get it. And then she's like, actually, by the way, J.K. We're not talking about rape. We're going to talk about video game sex. And it's like, you fucking idiot.
Yeah. So what
I
else?
apologize. We swore in the first episode. I'm bad.
Oh God, triggered. All right.
Triggered. Okay, we shouldn't make fun of triggering is a real thing, but
You
it's
everyone watching this needs to look up Nafuckers gets triggered for 10 minutes. NFKRZ gets
we're getting a little off topic here.
okay, so
Do you know any white
so,
feminists in person?
I don't know any feminists. All my friends are like hipster fedora wearing men.
Do they have neck beards?
No, we're too young. I know one kid who's old enough to have a neck beard and he has one.
What a good man. Oh
He
dear.
said feminists were worse than Nazis. And I'm like, oh.
I don't know about that. There's
Yeah,
good
he's a
there's
weird
good
guy.
feminists. What an idiot. I mean,
He's like he says all the stuff. He's kind of a troll.
like that statement is kind of terrible and misogynistic.
It depends on the people. Even then, I don't think that can be. I don't think that can possibly be true in any context.
There's no. I mean, unless you're literally a
Yeah,
feminist
it's funny.
who systematically murders millions of people, there's no way you're worse than Hitler. I mean, we're getting really off topic now, but bro.
Anyway, so we'll use this as a transition into like the next topic. So like of sex feminism. Like the reason I don't really identify as a feminist,
I mean, you are technically one.
I'm a traditional feminist.
That's
And
don't
I
say
think
you're a traditional feminist because when you think of traditional feminism, it's first wave feminism. It's white people are good, not the black slaves. That's what a traditional feminist is.
I'm like a definition feminist, where it's like
You're technically a feminist.
yeah, like
You don't identify with the modern feminist movement, if I'm
well,
correct.
there's so many different types of feminists now. It's like you can't like Bernie Sanders calls himself a feminist, and I completely agree with that. And I understand why he does that, but like I don't, especially because I'm so young. So it's like I could very much, be like identified as a white feminist or an attack helicopter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. No, I get you. Well, either way, I think feminists in general need to really acknowledge the existence of the problems people of color face rather than shoving it off and shoving it off of their field of view and completely just being encased in their own ball of privilege and not
Yeah.
understanding that issues that don't necessarily directly affect them are still affecting lots of women.
Well, I think feminism, like real feminism. I mean, yeah, I know it's kind of no true Scotsman-y, but like what feminism generally stands for, which is like women equality, that should be like a part of a larger like thing, like of egalitarianism and humanism and just overall increasing.
It should be an arm of it, not
Yeah,
its own movement.
like a
Yeah,
lot of
no, I
modern
get you.
feminism is like, no, guys, modern like feminism is just everything good in the world ever, and I'm like,
What about
uh,
black people? No, 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 don't talk about them.
no, no, it stands for racial equality too. Like, actually, a lot of white
Wait,
feminists,
seriously?
a lot of white feminists make the argument that like feminism is just gender equality, and I'm like, I guess in some contexts, I mean, you can be a feminist and be for gender equality, but being a feminist,
Usually you are.
yeah, being a feminist doesn't inherently mean like because what feminism means is you're for female specific like equality.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah. So if females had more rights than men and you were only a feminist, then to some extent you wouldn't really be for equal rights. But like that's almost non-existent. But I guess my point is like we see a lot of like white feminists say that feminism is just like the greatest thing in everything ever. So therefore you should just be a feminist and that's it. And
yeah.
that's part of the thing that makes
That's
people
the
like
problem. That's what makes people cringe when they hear the word feminist because
yeah, so it's like, oh, I'm a feminist, therefore I must believe in racial equality.
it's
So
like
I don't.
no, they're not. They're not mutually exclusive.
Yeah. Let's see. There's something else I was gonna bring up.
Dear God. Yeah, I don't know. I know a lot of feminists who are self-identified, and then I ask them questions, and I'm like, "Well, do you care about black people?" And they're like,
Yeah.
"Well, yeah, of course." I'm like, "Well, then why don't you consider yourself like a member of the Black Lives Matter movement?" And they're like, "Well, because women." And it's like, dude,
Well, at the same time, that's kind of like muzzle me. Like, do you denounce ISIS? It's like just because they're a feminist, that also doesn't mean they inherently are a white feminist.
no, I. That's what I'm saying. People, I don't know. I guess
As long as you're asking them questions. Like I was asking this one girl.
I'm not like berating them in front of people. I'm
Yeah.
actually like having conversations.
My sister's friend is a feminist, and I was like, okay, let me just gauge where she is, and so she was, she, I didn't get like a full context, but she was kind of focused on the real issues, but not in the right way, because she was like,
How so?
the main thing I remember was when she said like, tell boys or men or whatever or kids not to rape, rather than telling.
Which is, I mean, you and I both stand for that.
Yeah, but the thing is that kind of like ignores some of the problem. Because that I feel
And
like
by the way, by saying this, we're not saying that women deserve to be raped or that they're asking for it or that them dressing provocatively is the reason they get raped.
but like
Just a disclaimer, just no trigger
course, yeah.
trigger warning.
like what I'm afraid of is when people will be like, this is the solution, so therefore if we implement it, the problem will be gone. And then what'll happen is we'll just shove down people's throats not to rape, ironically, and then
Oh, come on.
and then rape doesn't stop, and they'll all be like, problem solved, we did it. And it's like, no, you idiots, you didn't help anything. Like, if we just tell everyone not to rape, then therefore the problem will be solved. But there's a certain point where it's like, people know it's wrong,
Yeah,
but
but
they're still gonna do it.
have you reached that have you think America has reached that point?
It definitely depends on the place, I think. I don't think America's reached that point as much as, like, some places in the world.
Like where?
Just more civilized places.
Civilized. Yeah,
Yep.
no, I see your point.
There are definitely
At-
modern nations that haven't got that down, like, have it worse
You
than us.
know, like a lot. Okay, I couldn't think of a specific example, but
I think
otherwise,
Sweden has a pretty bad, like, rape epidemic. I
do
think.
they?
I think.
Sweden?
Yeah.
Shit, man.
Don't call me on that. I'm just a random guy on the internet.
Wow. It's not as bad as like India, where people literally throw acid on each other. Like, I'm not even joking. Like,
God.
I know. Like, there's an epidemic of people of like women getting acid thrown on them by men.
It's just a prank, bro.
I know, for real. Like,
Like, God.
they go like full on YouTube social experiment and throw fucking
Right. Okay,
acid.
so where are we going with this? We're going with, like, rape, right? So,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I think it all depends on, like, the context. Like, if we get to the point where we're telling kids not to, like, I grew up in a context where like everyone knows rape is wrong and it's punished pretty justly.
Well, not a lot of rapes are reported.
But yeah, there are a lot of
I think
like see on the news that like rape kits aren't like done or whatever. But
I'd say
that's again that
instead of teaching men not to rape, we need to not instead of teaching men, but instead of straight telling men not to rape, we also need to teach women how to defend themselves, because eventually men are just going to be like
Yeah.
there's fucked up people out there, and that's
Yeah,
not
who
going to
don't care.
change.
Yeah.
But you can definitely lower the amount of fucked up people out there by saying not to rape as a like moral guideline
Yeah.
throughout a society. But what you can also do is teach women to defend themselves.
Yeah.
You can also process rape kits faster, give a bigger budget to the unit of the police department that handles rape, give a larger sentence for sexual assault crimes, give more like resources to the agents and to the companies, and not companies, but to the organizations that handle rape cases, and give a larger
Yeah.
emotional incentive to rape victims to go to them and to actually seek treatment. It's really important to make rape victims feel like it wasn't their fault.
Yeah, like yeah.
Do you agree
think-
with me on that?
Like it's their fault? No. I agree, yeah. The reason though I think this connects back to white feminism is because white feminism is like a version of liberalism that is complaining about stuff that's easy to complain about without actually problem solving.
Yeah, feminism
Like-
doesn't offer a problem to a lot of things.
Like the Oscar like white people scandal or whatever, not scandal, like the like Oscar so white or whatever. Like that's so insignificant.
But I think it's
I
not.
think that's insignificant compared to the real problems that we're facing.
Yeah, but it's not. I think it's not bad for somebody to bring that up.
Yeah, but like that got more focus than I feel
It should
like
not get more focus
police shooting
than
get.
police brutality and
Yeah.
disgusting things like this in the
Yeah.
media. But
And people are like, "Oh my god, how dare that happen?" It's like the Oscars go like apologize and stuff.
did they?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, well, good.
Yeah. They also had Chris Rock hosting it. So.
Chris Rock is the man. He's like
He's a cool dude.
he's a straight G.
He addressed it too in like a really well way.
Yeah,
Good
he was
one.
very eloquent, and I liked the way he addressed that. Either way,
Yeah.
the point is, feminists, you need to stop being so
Yeah.
damn privileged and understand that black people matter too. And don't try to hide it under the umbrella of feminism. It's not feminism to say that black people are people. It's what would you call that? It's being a human being and understanding that black people are people too.
Just being
Being a
an
non
egalitarian.
be having morals, but it's just stop trying to pretend that that's feminism, because it's not. Feminism is women's rights and the
Yeah.
women's suffrage movement. So don't try to brand everyone who thinks that black people are people as a feminist. It's a movement that a lot of people don't want to be associated with, but doesn't encompass a lot of what they think it does.
I think that definitely we need to like, identify the bigger problem. I mean, which is like more liberal activists who act for like stupid things that don't make any sense.
Like
Like-
like that statement that you just said. Speaking of not making any sense, well, can you say that again?
Okay, like liberals who just complain about stuff rather than actually problem solving.
Mhm.
Like white feminism is part of that.
I see.
Or like, going against Islamic bigotry or like Muslim bigotry. People just silence anyone who like criticize Muslims. It's like they're not the problem, you idiots.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I get you.
Know what I'm saying?
No, I'm saying. Yeah, but no, I understand.
I forget, it was like Bill Maher or something who started talking about that. I forget what they're called. I think there's a term. Yeah, I don't know if it's, like,
who are
regressive.
called?
I don't know if the term is like regressive liberals.
Who do what? Say problems with no solutions?
Who just complain about stuff
Yeah.
so they can feel like they did stuff without actually like acting.
Probably apathetic liberals or something along those lines. Either way, we need to teach white people to stop pretend. Oh dear, We need to teach white people to stop being terrible. My final answer.
I think it's
What?
a bigger problem.
No, that was kind of a joke. But
Oh yeah, okay, good. I just don't want to, sit here and be like, God, those darn white feminist idiots.
I mean, they're
I
pretty
know
bad.
how right it is.
I understand. Trust me. Look at my plight.
Yeah.
No, I get it. But, and I have talked to a lot of white feminists, and they, after careful examination of their ideology, they realize, maybe I don't want to be associated with this new movement.
Yeah.
Either way, I think that's a good place to end it.
Actually,
Huh?
I just want to read up on the regressive left because I think that
Yeah.
might be it.
Okay. Okay, let's do that next time.